Yeah, what's going on, people? Welcome to another video. So this is the player ratings. I haven't even finished putting the ratings down for David De Gea, Maguire, and Lindelof. I've done it for the other people, but I haven't done it for the. I know what I'm going to give them anyway, so it's what it is. It's whatever. Yeah, so I'm ready now. Like when you if you've seen the other video, you know what the scoreline was. Young Boys 2, Manchester United 1. So we lost the game. I'm not gonna go into much of a rant. Hopefully, I'm just gonna give my score, and I'm not gonna get carried away again on Ollie. But let's get into it. David De Gea 7. I'm gonna give him a 7. He made some good saves. Might have got an 8 if his team didn't end up costing him the game. He did not deserve to lose that game today. Had a good display, had a good command and display, organized his defense better as soon as that first chance that the Young Boys should have scored after the red card, but he got them back on track, and there's nothing he could have done for either goal. Varane should have been closing that shot down. Shaw should have been making sure that cross didn't come in, should have stopped that cross. He only deflected into the path of the Young Boys, a striker, and Varane was too slow to react to the end of the day, consider that first goal. Second goal was it's a shocking back pass from Lingard. There's nothing he can do about that. He just gets it, straight past him, and at the end of the day, that's how we can see the goal. So yeah, he gets a 7 and whatever. And then Aaron Wan-Bissaka, you get a 2. Probably lucky to get a 2, to be honest with you, because you cost us that game at the end of the day. Yes, I am going to maintain that all, and we're going to get to Ollie at the end. I'm going to maintain that Ollie, his reaction was absolutely dreadful and absolutely unacceptable for a Manchester United manager. But yeah, you cost us that game at the end of the day. You were the one who made it. You even exposed your manager in that situation, exposed his lack of ability to react to changes in the match, exposed his poor in-game tactics. You're the one who re-highlighted the problems we've had with him for the past 2 years. You're the one who brought that back into focus. This was a standard game, a 1-0 lead, going into 10 minutes away from halftime, and we would have been halftime 1-0 up. Not dominating the game, but certainly cruising in the game, and certainly not under a lot of pressure. But you ended up putting your manager under pressure, and at the end of the day, that's on you. You had no business making that tackle. You had no reason to be making that tackle, and you dove in for no reason. So yeah, rightly so. You get a 2, and you're lucky. Actually, probably should get a 0, even a negative score. But yeah, I'm gonna go with a 2 because I'm feeling generous. Maguire gets a 5. Captain, leader, nothing. First play. As soon as we get the red card, we get cut open and we almost concede a goal. Where is the leadership there? You're the captain of the team. I'm always going to look at you. I don't care if we have Ronaldo. I don't care if we have David De Gea. I don't care if we have Varane. You're the captain. You're the one with the captain band. You shouldn't be the captain, but you're the captain. So you're the one who needs to lead the team past there. So if anything goes wrong in that situation where there's lack of leadership, I'm looking at you. I don't care about the fact that we have a 5-time Ballon d'Or winner, or we have a 4-time Champions League winner and a World Cup winner, or we have a David De Gea, the last surviving player of our Premier League season, to still be playing in our first Premier League winning season, to still be playing in our 11. I don't care about any of that. I'm still going to look at you because you're the leader. You're the one who got all that money spent on and got brought in to be the leader of this team. And so you have to do your job, and you didn't. And you didn't even do your job as a centre back even much in the game. So yeah, a 5 for me. And of course, if you don't know, 6 is average. So 5 is below average. You get a 5. And Lindelof, I'm going to give a 6 because you know what? He didn't get a muscle today. I didn't agree. Of course, I don't know if you could have told from the starting 11 reaction. I didn't agree with him starting the game. I didn't think he should get any minutes in this game because we have West Ham coming up next Wednesday in the Carabao Cup, so he could have just played that game. I don't know why we're resting Varane, and then we brought him on anyway. So what was the whole point? At the end of the day, Lindelof, you get a 6 because you didn't get a muscle today. You didn't get dominated in the air today, but it still wasn't a great performance. It's just average. You were better than Maguire for me because it was your responsibility to be the leader of the team. And so, frankly, that's the only reason you score ahead of Maguire is because, excuse me, is because you didn't have that responsibility, and he did, and he didn't do his job, and so it is what it is. For sure, he gets a 4. Responsible for that first goal, in my opinion, because everybody knows, at a young age, you learn amateur pro, semi-pro, regardless of whatever level you play at, you learn from a very young age. Stop the cross. Stop the cross, and he's in the middle. I don't know why he's tucked in all the way there when we have 3 center backs. I don't know why he has to be in the middle. Completely tucks in, completely abdicates his responsibility as the left wing back. We're not attacking. He offered nothing going forward in the second half. So I don't know why he was out of position. I don't know why he was in midfield and then he was in the center of the defense, and then took forever to come in, deflected the cross, and then it's an easy tap in. So I don't know what he was doing there. So he gets a 4, and he didn't really offer, like I said, he didn't offer us anything going forward. So yeah, you get a 4 because that was not a good enough performance from Luke Shaw, one of my favorite players. But yeah, you know, this is business, and you didn't cut the mustard today. So yeah, you get a 4. Van de Beek gets a 7. Only got 45 minutes. Lucky. I mean, we're fortunate that Van de Beek got 45 minutes. I'm saying we only got 45 minutes. He got a whole 45 minutes. That's a long time because of the halftime for Rafael Varane, of course. And yeah, he was tidy. He did his thing. You know, some good passes, some good runs. Didn't set the wall on fire, but at least he was above average today. He was good. You know, he played with Fred, and he made Fred look better. Like when he left the game in the second half, Fred got exposed for what Fred is and what Fred has been this season. So he made Fred look better in that first half. Fred wasn't as terrible as Fred has been for the rest of the season when he was playing with him. So yeah, that wasn't a terrible performance from Van de Beek at all. It was actually a really good performance. So I'm gonna give him a 7. Fred, you get a 4 because, yeah, like I said, hey, Van de Beek made you better in that first half. I don't think you played bad in the first half, but in that second half, bro, you were atrocious. I mean, of course, it's difficult because you had Pogba. Yeah, the one thing I would say for Fred is sympathy for Fred because we had Paul Pogba, we had Fernandes, we had Ronaldo. With him up there, apart from the 5 center backs and David De Gea, the only other players that were not defenders and the goalkeeper were Ronaldo, Fernandes, and Pogba. Those guys are not going to give you any work rate, to be honest with you. They're not. Fernandes tries and runs around, but he's not anywhere near good enough defensively. Pogba is not going to give you any defensive acumen. That's just a fact. And Ronaldo, well, you already know it's Ronaldo. You don't even want him to do that because he's better served on the counter attack. He almost got us a goal in the second half. Really, probably should have scored that. Didn't take a shot for whatever reason. But yeah, at the end of the day, we got that. Yeah, Fred, you get a 4. Not a terrible performance. I've seen you play way worse. So yeah, a 4. Way below average, but not as terrible as I've seen. I've seen you had some stinkers even this season. So yeah, not terrible. Sancho gets a 4 because I think he only played 35 minutes, but I think those 35 minutes he played it too safe. I think he played too safe. I think he was the one who gave Van Bissaka the pass that Van Bissaka miscontrolled that led to that red card. I mean, that doesn't have anything to do with his rating, but I think he played it too safe. I mean, Sancho, you were bought for 70 plus million because you are Jadon Sancho, not because you're Dan James, not because you're Jesse Lingard, not because you're Marcus Rashford. You were bought because you're Jadon Sancho. So you got to stop playing like the players we had in that position before because they were not good enough. That's why we signed you. That's why we spent all that money because those players were not good enough. So you got to stop playing safe. You got to stop playing your game. Guys, that I know it takes time to settle in or whatever whatever fallacy they want to sell. It doesn't take that much time to settle in. It really doesn't. I mean, look at Bruno. I'm not going to compare players or anything like that. But at the end of the day, Sancho is a quality enough player to settle in immediately, and yes, he's been getting played out of position, but at the end of the day, that was not a good enough performance. He was playing too safe. He was getting the ball, and he was just passing it off or turning it back and kicking it. Like you got to go after, play your game. That's why you got signed. Play your game. That you're the one on the field. It doesn't matter what that guy over there is saying. If he wants to take you off, he took you off anyway after 35 minutes. So if he wants to take you off for playing your game and producing some explosiveness, then he can do it. He can do it at his own peril. But you got to play your game because you're the one on the field. You're the one who's going to take the criticism if things go wrong. Not him. They're gonna still be singing his name for no reason at all. But you're the one who's they're gonna say, oh, you ain't good enough anyway. You're overpriced. You're a flop. They're gonna say all that about you. So you gotta play your game. You gotta express yourself. You're the one on the field. And so 4 for Sancho. Fernandes 5 below average. Great ball for Ronaldo's goal, but other than that, nothing else apart from complaining to the referee about some tackle that came in on one of the players. I forgot who it was. Well, some tackle came in on one of our players, and Fernandez was out there complaining to the referee about something that he almost got himself a yellow card. Oh yeah, it was the Varane thing where Varane got booked for time wasting. Ridiculous, by the way, but he got booked for time wasting, and then Fernandez was over there. I'm like, bro, you're gonna get yourself booked again. You always get yourself booked for nothing, for no reason at all. I'm surprised he didn't get booked actually, but yeah. A 5. He didn't really offer us anything. Good assist for the goal. Really good assist actually. Great ball outside of the foot, but that's about it. So that's a below average performance. So you get a 5. Same thing for Pogba. 5. Didn't get an assist. Played a little bit better than offered a little bit more than Fernandez, because he was actually dropping deep and actually getting the ball a little bit. And especially when he was playing with Van der Beek. When Van der Beek was in the team, they played a little bit better. There was a little bit of link up between him and Pogba. They were switching a little bit in that midfield and wide man role that they had. Because at the beginning of the starting level, we saw they had Pogba in the middle of the field and they had Van der Beek on the left, but they actually swapped it at the start of the game. So it actually was Pogba playing on the left and Van der Beek playing right next to Fred, and it actually worked. You know, they swapped sometimes. They linked up. They did some good things. So, but in the second half, he offered nothing. Like I said, no shots in the second half. You get a 5, mate. That's just not good enough. Not good enough. There's no, like I said, there's no circumstance. Even if we're down to 3 by 3, man, there's no circumstance where Manchester United not getting a shot in 65 minutes of play against young boys is going to be acceptable. This just isn't. And at the end of the day, Pogba was a luxury player for us in that game. Right? Excuse me, after the red card. And if anybody should have been coming off, it shouldn't have been Van der Beek, it shouldn't have been Sancho, it should have been Pogba actually, because he wasn't going to give you anything defensively, and then you weren't going to be attacking, which is where you need Pogba anyway. If you're gonna progress the ball, you weren't going to progress the ball. So why are we keeping Pogba on the field? There's no need. You don't need him. Rest him for West Ham. There's no need for you to use a player that you're not going to utilize properly. There's no need for that. So he gets a 5. Ronaldo, you got a 7 because he scored the goal, but apart from that, average performance. It would have been a 6, but he gets a 7 because he scored the goal. I mean, scrambled it past the goalkeeper, but it still scored it. It's still a great run. It's still fantastic positioning. At the end of the day, could have scored a second goal. Should have scored a second goal for us actually. I think he had another one, but I think he's the one who had both our shots, if I'm not mistaken. Where he had the shot on the left foot, and it was like, well, he could have cut it, like chopped it back on his right foot. And then there was the one where he got in behind the defender, from shocking defender from the young boys defender. He got in behind him, but then he got caught up, and then he didn't swing his boot at it, which he could have done, because the ball was like set up for him, and he could just swung his boot, and he probably would have scored, because the goalkeeper wouldn't have been expecting that. So. Well, no, pretty average performance, but it's above average because he gets a goal. And yeah, it's a meaningless goal in the end, but he's not meaningless for Ronaldo. That's another goal in his quest. I think that might be 135, I believe it was. So incredible goal return, incredible goal ratio, fantastic performer, incredible player. I say incredible a lot, but he's a tremendous player, unbelievable player, and he's an icon in the football world, and it's unbelievable that we got him back. That's just a fact. But at the end of the day, today he could have scored more. Couldn't really done more for us going forward, because like I said, we refused to attack it as soon as the red card happened. But could have scored another goal, and he didn't. So yeah, 7. Dalot gets a 6, average performance. Really didn't really do much. He came on for Sancho after the red card to Wan-Bissaka. Steady performance. He wasn't getting cut out of position like Shaw was on the other side. He did try to go forward a little bit sometimes, but he didn't really offer anything that much going forward. By the end of the day, he didn't do anything like incredibly wrong. So yeah, 6 is not a terrible score for him on his first minutes of the season. Not bad. 6. Varane, 5. Yeah, I mean, it would have been an average performance, but he got cut out for the equalizer. At the end of the day, yes, it deflected off Shaw. Yes, Shaw should have closed the ball down, but you can't get cut off that easy. No, that was too easy. At the end of the day, it was too easy, and yeah, he has some responsibility to bear for that equalizer. So I am gonna hold him responsible for it. He gets a 5. And then Lingard, yeah, Lingard gave away the winning goal for Young Boys, or the losing goal for us. You're being more Manchester United centric. You gave away the losing goal for us, so you get a 1, and you're lucky to get a 1, honestly, because you didn't do anything other than just give away the ball to give away the goal. I thought coming in, I thought that wasn't a terrible decision to take off Ronaldo and bring him on, because I thought it was weird that Martial wasn't coming on, but I was like, oh, you know what, the pace away from counter-attack, we're seeing him score a lot of counter-attack goals. Young Boys were not sitting back in that game. They were not sitting back because they knew we were sitting back, so they were not sitting back. They were not holding back. They were attacking us. And yeah, I felt, not a terrible decision to bring him on, but then he turns around and slaps me right in the face, because I thought it was a bad decision to bring him on against Newcastle, and he scored. But then he turns around and I'm like, oh, it's not a terrible decision to bring him on in this game, even though I thought Martial should have come on sooner than he did. But then he turns around and gives a goal away. So thanks for that. And then who else? Matic and Martial, they both get 6s, and we weren't really in the game for long enough to make a massive impact. I actually didn't notice Matic had come on for Fernandes until like the 90th minute. Then I just looked, all of a sudden I saw Matic in there, because I was thinking it was Dallo. They were saying Matic, and I was like, oh wait, they're mistaking Matic for Dallo? Like, that's not even a common mistake. But then Matic was in the game. I just didn't notice when he came on. I guess maybe he shouldn't get a 6 for that anyway. But I guess that's more on Bruno, because I didn't notice Bruno not being in the game anymore. So that's a more indictment on Bruno than he is a Matic at the end of the day. So 6 for Matic and Martial. They weren't really gonna be offering us anything. Yeah, just average performances. They didn't really have that many minutes to make an impact. And they didn't. So and then the big one. I don't know why I gotta drink something after this video. But yeah, the big one, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Like I said, I already alluded to it in my my video. Check that video out, the review of the match. At the end of the day, you're a coward, bro. You're a coward. You're a coward, and cowards, they get, what cowards get? They get a big, fat, juicy 0, and that's what you are. You're a 0, and that's what you deserve. You're a 0. A 0 performance, 0 tactics, 0 management skills, 0 reaction to the game. You put Lindelof in that starting 11, and then you brought on Varane anyway. And so what was the whole point of putting Lindelof in that game? Oh, let's give him some minutes. You have West Ham coming up next Wednesday. Exactly who was going to be playing in that game if Lindelof isn't playing? Exactly who's playing center back if Lindelof isn't playing center back against West Ham? Who's playing center back? Exactly. So there you go. I don't understand this obsession with shocking decision making. He puts on Van de Beek, yes, but then he goes ahead and takes off Sancho. And then at least Papa in the game, at least Fernandes and Ronaldo to play with Fred as the non-defenders, outfield players going forward. It's like that doesn't work. That's why Fred was so horrible in the second half. I mean, Fred hasn't had a great season, but that's why he was so terrible in the second half, because he was playing with Papa, Fernandes, and Ronaldo. Those guys are not going to give you anything defensively. They're not, and they shouldn't. They shouldn't have to. One of them should have come off, and you should have left Van de Beek in that team. One of them should have come off, and then you should have brought, if you want to bring on Varane, then do that. But don't take out Sancho because you're telling me, oh yeah, you only don't want luxury players, and then leave Pogba, Fernandes, and Ronaldo, and then take on Van de Beek. Or which one of those 4 players is actually the least of a luxury player? It is Donny Van de Beek, because he's the one out of the 4 of them who actually will work the hardest. I know Fernandes works a lot for us, impressing the ball, but nowhere near what Van de Beek can do as an actual midfielder, as an actual number 8. He can work for that. He can't press for the ball. He played for Ajax. That's what they do. They press for the ball a lot. So he's cultured enough to actually do that. And we didn't give him a chance to do that. We just took him off at halftime and left Fernandes, Pogba, and Ronaldo with Fred. And Fred was just on his own. Fred was done. It was done out there. And so we couldn't get anything. Fred had to be the one progressing the ball to Pogba, Fernandes, and Ronaldo. Yeah, that's going to turn out well. There you go. There it is. And like I said, we got exactly what we deserve. We have nothing to complain. Ole, you're a 0 today. I can't even give the fans a score because I didn't even hear the fans at all. I don't even know how that works. I didn't hear the fans at all today for United. I didn't hear any songs. Maybe they were. I just didn't hear it. So yeah, that's the end of the player ratings. It went way longer than I thought it was gonna go, or over 20 minutes. I thought it was gonna be like a 10-minute thing, but I guess I got carried away with the whole. I'm not sad, to be honest with you. I'm disappointed, yes, but I'm not surprised. I'm not sad. It's Manchester United. At the end of the day, yeah. What are you gonna do? We always find a way to make things difficult for ourselves. Now, like I said, now we got 5 games to save ourselves in the Champions League, and hopefully we can. First defeat of the season. It is what it is. It has been coming. Should have lost to Sancho. Should have lost to Wolves. Didn't. So yeah, first defeat of the season. I guess that's the positive. I don't know if it is or not. Yeah, we can only take it on the chin. Yeah, bend over and take it, basically. At the end of the day, so yeah, your boy's gonna be out. Hopefully, I can do the review of the Premier League week 4 today. If not, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.